In this segment, we're going to be talking about the EU telling the UK there's no alternative to the Northern Ireland Protocol. So essentially, they've dropped the hammer. We've got a couple more videos I wanted to make around more of Frost's comments and things like that, but I feel like it's important to just get this one out here. So European leaders dismissed British demands to amend the terms of the Brexit withdrawal agreement, setting the stage for further tensions over the special status of Northern Ireland. So, in this case, I 100% agree with the EU because they don't have to change anything. This is any problems that come out from the Northern Ireland Protocol are mainly because of pretty much all because of Britain, really. When you think about it, we agreed to this, we helped to negotiate. If the Northern Ireland Protocol was so bad, why did we agree to it? I saw Lord Frost say in an interview that Britain was under duress and blah blah blah. We had to sign it. It's like, no, you didn't, bruv. No one made you sign it. Did anyone hold a gun to your head? Did anyone tell you they're going to send you to the Shadow Realm if you don't sign this agreement? No, I don't remember this. Or you hit with a dark magic attack. So they go on to say there is no alternative to the full and correct implementation of the Northern Ireland Protocol. President Ursula von der Leyen told reporters in Brussels following a summit of EU leaders on Monday, "If we see problems today, we should not forget that they do not come from the protocol; they come from Brexit," which is a good point, a phenomenal point. That they've got to always link the protocol to Brexit and talk about it's a problem from Brexit and the specific Brexit. The Tory party have done. Don't just link it to Boris Johnson; link it to the entire Tory party because all of them voted for it. The terms of the UK's departure from the EU have Northern Ireland Protocol effectively still anchored to the bloc single market. Again, I wouldn't frame it like that. I would say attached. But this is a Bloomberg, an American outlet, so the framing might be slightly different to what I would use. While the aim of the arrangement is to preserve a single economic area in the island of Ireland, which stops a hard border. Which is no one wants a hard border. Honestly, no one wants that. Apart from some crazies in the DUP, like a hard border would be a disaster for the entire of Ireland. And prevent a fragmentation that could endanger the peace agreement. That's the Good Friday Agreement. It has also erected the trade barriers between the region and the rest of the UK. So it's talking about the trade border within the Irish Sea. So goods going from GB to NI. I do wonder though if will there ever be a time where goods going from NI to GB would have to be checked because of most favourable nations? Would that ever be a thing? Because then surely the EU could use Northern Ireland as a backdoor to get goods into GB to avoid checks if they wanted to. Is that a thing? Maybe, I don't know. London has complained the EU is enforcing checks on goods moving from Britain to Northern Ireland too strictly. I mean, dude, they're checking. It's only around 20% of consignments that are being checked. Like, come on now. And if you're mad at the checks now, the amount of checks, wait until we start importing Australian beef or American beef or Canadian beef or Brazilian beef. Watch how the number of checks goes up. Like, be real, man. The reason why that we're having so many problems with the checks are that British companies don't want to have to do the paperwork to export to Northern Ireland. And another problem is we don't have the staff and the infrastructure. That's what's causing problems. Be real, man. Perpetuating risk to supply chains. The region saw the worst violence in years in April, in part fueled by unionist discontent around the Brexit arrangement. And from what I've heard from speaking to people, they know who they are. When marching season happens, things are very likely to get far worse. And that the violence that we saw early in the year is nowhere near as bad as it can get, which is something that I thought as well. But the EU refuses to back down, arguing that unless if checks are enforced between Britain and Northern Ireland, then goods can enter the bloc single market without abiding by the bloc standards, which is the whole point of this, is to stop goods getting into the single market, getting into the Republic of Ireland that aren't up to EU standards. It's in the EU's interest to protect the integrity of the single market. It exists for a reason. So, the argument that, people keep making in Britain that, the EU needs to accept more risk is like, no, they don't, because we're not negotiating anymore anyways. We're not in the negotiation phase. This has been signed. They don't have to accept any risk. And besides, why would they when part of the EU is the whole point of it is the single market? So why would they risk that when they've worked so hard to create the single market and keep it stable? All of the toxicity and problems around Brexit, the single market still holds to this day, in the words of Deontay Wilder. So, stop asking for them to take a risk-based approach. It's not going to work, and you're just wasting everyone's time. The only benefit is I get to do videos out of it, but just stop it. All right. The relations with the UK should remain mutually beneficial and can, under no circumstances, undermine the integrity of the single market, the customs union, and the EU's decision-making autonomy, leader said in a joint statement on Monday. So this is a very tough statement from the EU. My main issue with the EU, and this is something I've heard from Phil from a different bias, basically say that, if you're going to take legal action and threaten things, the EU is saying, if the UK does this, we will do this. Then the rubber's got to hit the road now. Whatever legal action you're going to take, legal action, reveal yourself, because if you're not going to take hard action against the UK, then you're not going to get anywhere. Fair enough, you don't want to escalate tensions, but when one side is starting to inflame tensions and you do nothing about it, you look very weak politically, very weak. So we're still waiting on to see what the EU's legal action is going to be, because the UK will still keep pushing on this stuff. We've talked a lot before about the UK's proposals and how crap they are, and in this case, like, the EU have said, nothing's going to change here. Implement the protocol properly. Just stop asking. Basically, just stop it. So I don't know what more to say on this video apart from the fact that no one wants a hard border within the island of Ireland. Ireland are not going to leave the single market in the customs union because of the problems within Northern Ireland. That's not going to happen. Most likely what's going to happen is unification of Ireland, but that will take many years. So that's not going to be a quick fix. So as annoying as it sounds, the DUP and the British government are going to help inflame more tensions within the EU, and that's something we'll talk about in another video. The DUP and the Tory government are going to inflame tensions within Northern Ireland continuously and keep blaming the EU when this is the fault of the British government. We told people Brexit is great, oven-ready deal, blah, blah, blah. We're still waiting for this thing to defrost at this point, and it's not happening. But we'll see what the Iceman's up to next. But yeah, let me know what you think in the comments below. Like, comment, share, subscribe, and hopefully I'll see you in the next one.